It always seems impossible until it's done. If you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. If you talk to a man in his language, that goes to his heart. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. It is better to lead from behind and to put others in front, especially when you celebrate victory when nice things occur. You take the front line when there is danger. Then people will appreciate your leadership. There can be no keener revelation of a society's soul than the way in which it treats its children. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. After climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. Money won't create success. The freedom to make it will. Never, never, and never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by another. To deny people their human rights is to challenge their very humanity. A good head and a good heart are always a formidable combination. For a person to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. What globalization means, as it so often does, is that the rich and powerful now have new means to further enrich and empower themselves at the cost of the poorer and weaker. We have a responsibility to protest in the name of universal freedom. We pledge ourselves to liberate all our people from the continuing bondage of poverty, deprivation, suffering, gender, and other discrimination. As long as poverty, injustice, and gross inequality persist in our world, none of us can truly rest. If you want to make peace with your enemy, you have to work with your enemy. Then he becomes your partner. Courageous people do not fear forgiving for the sake of peace. A good leader can engage in a debate frankly and thoroughly, knowing that at the end he and the other side must be closer and thus emerge stronger. You don't have that idea when you are arrogant, superficial, and uninformed. Let freedom reign. The sun never set on so glorious a human achievement. There is no easy walk to freedom anywhere, and many of us will have to pass through the valley of the shadow of death again and again before we reach the mountaintop of our desires. Our human compassion binds us the one to the other, not pity or patronizingly, but as human beings who have learned how to turn our common suffering into hope for the future. In my country, we go to prison first and then become president. Without education, your children can never really meet the challenges they will face. So it's very important to give children education and explain that they should play a role for their country. No country can really develop unless its citizens are educated. Running taught me valuable lessons. In cross-country competition, training counted more than intrinsic ability, and I could compensate for a lack of natural aptitude with diligence and discipline. I applied this in everything I did. People respond in accordance to how you relate to them. If you approach them on the basis of violence, that's how they'll react. But if you say, we want peace, we want stability, we can then do a lot of things that will contribute towards the progress of our society. There are times when a leader must move out ahead of the flock, go off in a new direction, confident that he is leading his people the right way. I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. It is an ideal which I hope to live for and to achieve. But if needs be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die. There are so many men and women who hold no distinctive positions but whose contribution towards the development of society has been enormous. I have retired, but if there's anything that would kill me, it is to wake up in the morning not knowing what to do. I was not a messiah, but an ordinary man who had become a leader because of extraordinary circumstances. Even if you have a terminal disease, you don't have to sit down and mope. Enjoy life and challenge the illness that you have. I am confident that nobody will accuse me of selfishness if I ask to spend time while I'm still in good health with my family, my friends, and also with myself. There is nothing I fear more than waking up without a program that will help me bring a little happiness to those with no resources, those who are poor, illiterate, and ridden with terminal disease. Our single most important challenge is therefore to help establish a social order in which the freedom of the individual will truly mean the freedom of the individual. Sometimes I feel like one who is on the sidelines, who has missed life itself.